everybody, welcome to the Ewe Felty Thing Podcast. This is episode 1.5, otherwise known as Once More with Feeling. I had a bit of a false start to trying to do a podcast last year. I did my first episode and then we had a lot of things happen in the shop, and it meant that I wasn't able to have enough time to put the podcast together properly. So here we are, 2019, having another go. So I do apologise. I will be running off a list today just while I get into the flow of everything. So first things first, I guess, is what the reason that I'm trying to do a podcast. And so, as you know, or as you probably know, I have a wool shop here called Ewe Felty Thing, and so I thought it would be a nice way to keep you up to date with all the things that are happening in the shop. And we run lots of crochet-a-longs and knit-a-longs every month, so it's that I can show you what patterns we're doing. We can discuss the various different types of wool crafting. So I knit, I crochet, I spin, I weave, I dye, and I felt. So the hope is that I'll be doing a bit of all of that, and able to show off different things that I've been making, different techniques and that sort of thing. I'm hoping to help keep you up to date on the different trends with woolcraft. So just what are the new things to keep an eye out for, what's sort of up and coming, some of the things that might be going out, and show you what I've been up to, the things that I've been making, the patterns I'm designing, that sort of thing, and basically gently just to share the wool passion and have some fun with it. So let's get started, really. So we'll start with shop news. So I'll give you the potted history. So I opened the shop on the 19th of March last year, and I was actually subletting the back room, which is through these curtains here. And I subletted there for about 6 months, and then in November I took over the rest of the shop, which was very exciting and a lot of work, but I'm absolutely loving it, and the response to the shop has been fantastic. We stock currently 17 different indie dyers from UK and Ireland, which makes us the largest range of UK and Irish indie dyers outside of a wool show, which I'm really proud of. I think it's very important to be able to support all of our lovely, talented local dyers, because although there are some amazing worldwide ones, it seems silly to import from thousands of miles away when we've got so much variety on our doorstep, a lot of which aren't really known about yet. So I'm really delighted to be able to have so many dyers, and I've also got a couple of hand spinners. I've got some people that dye wool, rovings and bats and things as well, so it's not all about the yarn. But yeah, so as you can tell, the 19th of March is actually not that far away, so we're having a massive birthday party on Saturday the 16th, because we thought aiming on the Saturday was probably the best plan. So so we've got all sorts planned for the day. We've got lots of special guests coming. So I've got several of my dyers that are coming over. So I've got Rianne of Temporal Spin, she's coming over. I've got Tanya of the Woolly Tangle, who also makes project bags and stitch markers and things. I've got Kath of Knit a Scarlet up on Anglesey, she's coming over for the day. I've got Anne of Mamma Me. She's a dyer and a spinner and sort of fibre artist, so she does a lot of the sort of hand-dyed locks and spun art yarns and things like that. And I've got Faye of the Crochet Circle podcast. Faye's been brilliant, and I've got several of her designs in the shop, and we're actually doing one of her designs as the knit along and the crochet along this month, so I'll get to that in a minute. So Faye's going to be coming on Saturday, so if you're joining in with our knit along or our crochet along, or you would like to, then that would be a good opportunity to come along and talk to her about the pattern, maybe get her to help you choose some yarn for it, that sort of thing. We'll also be having some special offers and things in the shop, so if you spend over £30 you'll get 10% off, and also every purchase gets you a raffle ticket to win a £20 voucher for the shop. There will be masses of cake, because it can't be a party without cake. And I've also been dyeing a colourway specially for the party, so that will be available limited edition on the day, so it won't be going on the website unless it doesn't sell out in person at the shop. So that's yet another reason to come along on Saturday. So that's the birthday party. Other than that, what else has been happening in the shop? We've had a big restock from Abercairn. She's just sent me an enormous box filled with some gorgeous 50/50 merino silk, double knits and 4-plies, some gradient cakes, lots of minis and fade packs and things. So there's a lot of new yumminess from Abercairn. I forgot to say, as part of the birthday party, I'm starting to stock Luca needles and hooks. If you haven't come across Luca, they're lovely. They're sort of laminated birchwood needles and hooks, and they're just lovely to work with. I've got one on my loft shawl here at the moment, and they're just so smooth and tactile and really lovely. So yes, so those will be available for the first time on the birthday party as well. So those should be being delivered today. I'm keeping everything crossed that they get delivered today, so that I've got time to sort out the display before Saturday. We've also got new stock en route from Truly Hooked and Bear in Sheep's Clothing. Those should be, again, hopefully here this week in time for the party. Yes, waiting for the postman. So yeah, I think that's all the new stock in the shop at the moment. Sorry, I'm full of a cold. I have 3 small kids, and they invariably share their lurgies with me. Let's get on to the knit along and crochet along. I like to support both knitting and crochet. I don't see why some shops are more knitting focused and seem to sort of forget the crochet, because there are some amazing patterns out there. So there's some really, really gifted crocheters and things. So it seems daft to me not to support both. So yes, so the knit along and the crochet along this month are both the Loft Shawl by Faye Hughes of the Crochet Circle podcast. And here's one I made earlier. So this is the crochet loft shawl in double knit. She does the patterning for both a 4-ply and a double knit. And so if you're looking for sort of a quickish crochet shawl pattern, the double knit one is fab. I did it because I was struggling to have something neutral and warm enough in January. I've got a lot of quite lacy shawls, but I didn't have anything properly snuggly. So that's mine there, and it's done in it's dyed in, it's crocheted in Bear Sheep's Clothing double knit in their cozy DK, and it's really, really soft and snuggly. I definitely recommend Bernie's yarns. They're lovely. They seem to be have much more bounce to them, be much squishier than a lot of the other yarns. Bear with me 2 seconds, there's a postman. Sorry about that. Yes, the shop doesn't open till 10. I've got in early, but yeah, parcels and letters and things still need delivered. So yeah, so that's my crochet DK version. And I thought, seeing as I've done a crochet one, I thought I would do the knit along this month. So I got this one. If I can just pick up my yarn. So I've decided to go with slightly more vibrant colours this time. I'm all about the mustard at the moment. I seem to be wearing mustard or things with mustard in them an awful lot. Tan shoes, I've got bits of mustardy colours on my things. I've got mustard jumpers. If it's mustard at the moment, I love the mustard. And I've always been very into teals and turquoises and purples as well. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have a shawl that will go with all the things. So as you can tell, I haven't got awfully far with it yet, just because I've got a few things on the go at the moment. But this is the beginnings of my knitted 4-ply loft shawl. So I decided I wanted to go with a bit of texture difference this time. So I've got some abacairn, mohair and silk here, and I've got it doubled up with merino silk singles. Desiree of abacairn sort of dyed up some at the same time, so that you've got a mohair and a coordinating singles if you want to put the two together. So I'm really enjoying knitting with that. It's the first time I've actually done mohair, and I think I'm definitely a convert. It's so soft. It's not tickly the way that traditionally mohair used to be. I remember being given a mohair jumper at some point in my teenage years and not being able to wear it. So I'm very impressed at the quality of the yarn. I've also got another one of her singles. I think this one's called Shona, and it's got sort of mustards and greens and blues and purples and things in there, so it looks almost sort of petrol-y. So it's rather nice, and it tones in nicely. And then this one is one that I've dyed. I actually ended up dyeing it twice because it came out too bright the first time, so I had to try again. And this is a merino silk stellina sparkle, so I'm hoping it'll just add a little bit of something else to the shawl. Just having a little bit of sparkle in there as well. So yes, I'm looking forward to seeing how that one turns out, and I should be able to show you it as a finished object next month. Dropping everything on the floor. The only other thing that's new with the shop is that we've launched a yarn club, and we've called it the Yarn Club with a Difference, because most of the time yarn clubs, you sign up with a particular dyer and they've often got a theme, that sort of thing, but it's a surprise colourway every month, and you don't really know if it's going to be a colourway that you'll gel with, if it'll be something that you'll wear. So if you actually like quite muted colours, and you usually like the muted colours that the dyer sends you, you might find that suddenly one month they actually send you neons because that's what fitted in with their theme, but it's not something that you'd wear. So what I decided, seeing as we've got the variety of stock in the shop, is that I would start up a yarn club where you can, it's not themed, but you can specify that you like dark colours, or you like neons, that you don't like pastels, that you're allergic to alpaca, all this sort of thing, that you like, that the colour, you can specify your 3 favourite colours to work with. So you could say greens, purples and mustards, and I would do my best to send you things with greens and purples and mustards in, that fit the brief. So if you're interested in doing that, it starts at about, I think it starts at £20 for a sock skein, and that's inclusive of postage and everything, and you can find it on the website at ewefeltything.co.uk, and it's dead easy to sign up, and you just have to sort of create an account and put in your preferences as to what sort of thing you like, and we'll go from there. So that's it for shop stuff. So it's on to my sort of works in progress at the moment. So I've shown you my loft shawl, so that's my main knitting in progress at the moment. I have a couple of sort of odds and sods dotted around that I haven't quite made my way through to finishing yet, but I think we've all got projects that hide under the bed. So my background crochet project at the moment, though, is this one. I joined the Truly Hooked Blanket Club, and mainly because I have crochet blankets at home, but they're starting to get a bit worse for wear, and I thought I'd make myself a nice one. So given my love of purples and things, I've been really quite chuffed with the colourways so far. So I've just gone with a simple sort of ripple blanket. Which side is my yarn on? Just to pull it to pieces. Oh, without my sound. So it's going to be sort of double bed width, and I've just teamed it with a plain undyed double knit, just to sort of separate the colours a bit, because I thought it added a bit just having just two rows of double crochet in the middle, just to break it up. So that's not going to be finished until Christmas, I don't think, because as with all yarn clubs, you get a bit a month. So I'm enjoying getting a few bits through every month, and just being able to sit down and do something that I don't have to think through properly. There are some patterns that you have to concentrate on as you're doing, and there are others that are things that you can do in the evening when you're knackered and the kids have finally gone to bed, and you don't have the brain left to do something complicated. This is my go-to for those moments, because I can just sit there and go, let everything go, be chilled out, and it's very relaxing and mindful, and yeah, I'm all about all about the relaxing and the mindfulness and mental health side of crafting. I think it's very, very beneficial to you in a lot of ways to be able to make things with your hands, and it just takes the stress away. You can find some time just for you and just relax, and yeah. So what else is going on? I got a new loom for my birthday, so I've just started weaving, and I'm really enjoying doing that. I'll stick some pictures up because it's a bit big to try and squidge into the video feed, but I'll put some pictures up of what I've been doing with the loom. I'm also spinning. I've been spinning the same camel silk fibre for months now, just because it's been so busy. I haven't actually had time to get the spinning wheel out, apart from when I go to guild meetings. So I'm going to try and get some more of that done this month after the birthday party's out of the way. I think I'm just going to have a restful rest of March and recuperate. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting some spinning done then. I've been, as I say, I've been dyeing again. So my room that I used to sublet back there is now my dye studio, which is brilliant. I'm loving the fact that I actually have space to work now. I mean, it's nothing extravagant or anything. I just have tables and trolleys and steamers and things like that. So it's a work in progress, but it's my space, and I get to play with colour. So I've been hiking through all my old undyed stock and working my way through that. So my section of the hand dyed yarns down there is not quite so bare as it was, and I'm hopefully going to be getting some more undyed stock in now, and making a start at actually having some of my stuff properly in the shop again, because it's been so long since I've had time to do any, with all the change around of the shop and things going on at home, that it's just been, and I'm enjoying this last few weeks when I've actually been able to start dyeing again. It's been brilliant. And I've dyed, as I said earlier, I've dyed up a colourway specifically for the wool party on Saturday, so fingers crossed that'll go down all right. Sorry, morning, coffee helps. The other thing I'm doing at the moment is designing. I've often played around writing patterns and things, but I've always done them for me. So this is the first time that I'm doing something with a sort of a brief in mind, and with wanting to be able to put it on Ravelry, have it for sale in the shop and that sort of thing. So let me introduce you to the Chink of Light wrap. So if I can get it the right way around. So it's going to be a polygon shape. You can't tell from here, it looks a bit triangular because it's in desperate need of blocking. But it's going to be a polygon, so a slanty rectangle. So that's a corner down the bottom there. And when you block it, it's going to get sort of long like that. And the idea of this is that it's going to be sort of a stash buster. So it's going to take one skein of indie dyed sock yarn, so standard 100 grams, 400 meters, 4-ply sock yarn, in whatever colourway you love, and then 6 coordinating 20-gram minis or remnants. So it means if like me, you've got a sort of colour palette that you often use, and you've ended up with lots of ends of balls that all sort of go together, but you haven't managed to find a project for it, this should be brilliant. So it reminds me of when I was very little, and I used to crawl behind the sofa in the lounge and curl up and fall asleep behind the sofa. I was very little, and I remember the little shafts of light coming underneath where the curtains had been pulled to one side, and you know, the curtains sort of wiggle when they're bunched up, and there would just be little chinks of light coming through, so you'd get a bright bit and then you get a bit of carpet, and a bright bit and a bit of carpet. So that's kind of what's going on here. So you've got the bright sections, and then you've got the sunlight sections, and then you've got the pattern for the carpet. But I'm doing each one of the sections for the semi-solid minis is going to be a slightly different lace eyelet pattern. So yeah, so I've been having fun swatching different patterns and choosing those. So I'm about halfway at the moment, so it's going to be twice this size, so it should be a good wrap by the time it's finished and blocked. So if anybody's interested in test knitting it for me, then do get in touch. It will be probably end of March by the time I've finished writing the pattern for it to be test knitted, and then hopefully that'll be out sort of summer time, so I might have it with me for Fibre East and the Wool Monty, because I've got stalls at both of those. Also excitingly, one of my dyers, Sophie, who runs Shonach Yarns, she does natural dyeing, so she gets the most amazing colours and things from plants that she goes and harvests and that sort of thing. She's got a podcast as well, which is well worth a watch. But I posted a couple of pictures on Instagram of my design and talking through the theory behind it and things, and she's asked if she can dye kits for it as well, so there will be some natural dyed kits available for the Chink of Light wrap as well, so that should be exciting. Finished objects, I don't have many at the moment, just because things have been quite busy at this end. So I finished my loft shawl, and this was actually the second one I did. My grandpa died back at the start of January, and so I feel a bit lost without a shawl, and I realised that I didn't have one that was bright and that wasn't bright and colourful and things, so I made another loft shawl in greys and browns and blacks, which I wore to the funeral. So that was my first finished project of the year, and then I decided that I wanted to do another one that didn't have the same memories attached to it, which is how come I've done this one. And then last thing I finished was a pair of Alice socks by Truly Hooked. They're from her, I think, the second drawdown sock book, and we did those as the knit along in February. So I finished those. I'm not wearing them today, otherwise I'd show you. They're currently in the wash, having been worn as much as I can possibly wear them without washing them. But no, they were really pretty, so I'll stick a photo up hopefully now. But they're very pretty, and they were done in all wool, the Thames wool, lavender rain, I think, which is a lovely sort of pastel unicorn sort of colourway, with a trim of a mini dyed by Abercare. Right, so what else have I been up to really? It was my birthday at the end of February, so as I said earlier, I got a new loom, which was great fun. Weaving's been sort of the last thing that I've been trying to get into, and having joined the Abergele Guild of Spinners, Weavers and Dyers, I wanted to be able to move into the weaving, and so I'd spoken to Glyn, my partner, and said I'd kind of like some weaving lessons. There's a Sowry weaving studio in Bangor, run by a lovely lady called Rosie, and so I'd messaged Glyn and said, could I have some weaving lessons for my birthday? And then, as if by magic actually, somebody emailed the guild saying, I've got a Sowry loom for sale, is anybody interested? And so I decided that was obviously fate, and so I messaged Glyn again and said, if you're not sorted yet, actually, can I have some money towards this loom, please? So yes, so I've now got a Sowry loom, which I'm really, really chuffed with, and I've got my current project that I'm doing on it is linen, but I'm putting in some dyed locks and silk throaster's waist and coil spun art yarns and things as well, just to play with the textures. But yeah, the linen yarn I'd had for a while. I bought it, I think, at Woolfest last year, and I know that it will soften when you wash it and things, but I tried knitting with it and I just couldn't. I found it painful, and it was just too rough. I think I'm too used to knitting with nice soft fluffy things, and so it sort of got put down. So when I got the loom, I thought, aha, perfect. So it's really nice, and again, it's teals and mustards, as are my socks. There, you'll see a theme. So that was that, and yeah. No. So we went away for my birthday for a couple of days. Glyn took the kids and I over to the Peak District for a couple of days. We went and stayed in a Climbers Club hut. So Glyn and the kids were scampering up and down cliffs for a couple of days in the sunshine, because it was those couple of days of beautiful sunshine. And so I was sat at the bottom finishing my Alice socks. So I was quite happy. And yeah, so thinking ahead, apart from the birthday party on Saturday, we've got a stall at Wonderwool at the end of April, which I'm so excited about. I go to Wonderwool every year. I love it. It's the atmosphere of it, and it's just fantastic. I love it to pieces. It's my favourite show. And so when I got the email saying that I had a stall there this year as well, it felt like the woolly mothership had come to take me home. It's just, I'm delighted. So hopefully I will see lots of you over at Wonderwool on the 27th and 28th of April. We're on stall G9, and we'll have all of our hand-dyed yarns with us. We'll have fibre with us. Quite a few of my dyers are sending me extra stock for the weekend as well. So yeah, so hopefully you'll come along and see all of that. So other yarn shows that are on, that are coming up, obviously there's the Edinburgh Yarn Festival weekend after next. There's also the Knitting and Stitching show at the Olympia in London, That's more of a, it's more of an all-round craft show, that one, than a specific woolly show. But if you happen to be in the area, it's quite good fun. I went and visited that one last year, and met a lot of lovely people. There's also corn woolly, I think, happening this month, and then April, obviously there's Wander Wool, and there's also Spring into Wool. So there are lots of, we're starting to get into show season now, so there are lots of things going on for you to go and visit. What else? So patterns that have caught my eye this month. So I've just seen Truly Hooked. If you're on her Instagram or her Facebook page, go have a look. She released a jumper before Christmas called The Sweater That Lived, based on the Harry Potter books. So it's got some stags and glasses and things, and it's a yoked sweater, colourwork yoke sweater. And she's just redesigned it as a steeked cardigan. So she's just posted the first pictures of that up on her Instagram and Facebook feeds. So that's worth going and having a look at. That's going for test knitting now, so hopefully that'll be out within the next couple of months. So that'll be a good fun one to have a go at, and I'll ask her if I can put a photo up in this for you. And the other pattern that I've seen, Wendy, who comes and helps in the shop a lot, she's very much a crocheter, and she's just finished a shawl called the Hotel of Bees. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Again, I'll see if I can get a photo up in this for you so that you can see. But I believe that was quite a nice one to crochet as well. So that one's a nice one to have a look at. Trends at the moment, based on what people have been saying as they've been coming into the shop and things like that, and a lot of the uncertainty about Brexit and that sort of thing. So a lot of people are concentrating on stash busting projects at the moment, rather than having to buy in lots of new yarns for a project. They're looking for things that they can do with their existing yarn, or with perhaps buying in just a skein or two to go with what they've already got. So sort of getting colourways that will go between two that they've got already, so that they can have a 3 skein fade, things like that. Using up remnants, that sort of thing. So sort of stash busting at the moment, I think, is the main trend, which is one of the reasons behind doing the Chink of Light wrap. So hopefully that'll be reasonably on trend. But yeah, if you're wanting to find things like that, and you're struggling to think what to knit or what to crochet, I would definitely recommend going on the sorry, tail end of lurgy. Going on the Ravelry Advanced Search, because that will be that you can put in, I have this weight of yarn, I have this many meters of it left, I'd like to make a wrap of some kind or a jumper of some kind, and it will show you only patterns that fit with that. So yes, if you haven't found your way onto Ravelry yet, go have a look. It's fab. But yeah, I think that's about it for this one. It's just gone 10, so I'm going to have to go and open the shop, and yeah, get on with party prep. Yay! So hopefully I will see some of you on Saturday for the party, and if not, I will see you next time for episode 2.